I am very grateful to all of you for taking the time. Obviously, it is a special treat and a special honor to have Dr. Franklin with me. He rode on the bus with me all the way from Chapel Hill, and just had a wonderful conversation. Got more education in those few moments together than I have through watching the evening news for the last year. We started off this campaign with a very simple premise, and that was that we've got big problems in this country, and that our politics is inadequate to the task of dealing with these problems. You know what those problems are because you see them in your communities every day, and you're reporting on them every day. We have millions of people without health insurance. We've got millions of people who don't have jobs or are underemployed. We have a school system that is leaving millions of children behind. We are in the midst of a war that I believe should have never been authorized and should have never been waged, that is costing us not just billions but soon to be trillions of dollars. And worst of all, I think, is people have lost faith that our government can do anything about it. And so when I embarked on this race, my bet was that we could tap into a hunger on the part of the American people for meaningful change. That people were dissatisfied, but they could also be inspired to get involved, to act, to look for a politics that wasn't about tearing each other down, but was about lifting the country up. And that they were tired of spin and PR, that we could talk honestly with the American people about these issues. And obviously, we have been successful beyond our expectations. I wouldn't have gotten in this race if I didn't think we could win. But obviously, the odds were long. And for us to be here as the Democratic frontrunner in the nomination, I think is extraordinary. Now, we've got a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of work to do to wrap up this nomination. And we're going to have a tough general election. But I think that the issues are ones that are aligned in favor of the Democrats this year. Everybody is frustrated about the economy. Everybody is frustrated about the healthcare system. Everybody's frustrated about the war. Obviously, those frustrations are oftentimes more pronounced in the African American community because there's the old saying, when America gets a cold, Black America gets pneumonia. And so the rates of the uninsured, or the rates of the unemployed, or the problems that we have with respect to the housing crisis, those are all things that are affecting us far worse than they're affecting other communities. We then have some issues that are very specific to the African American community that have to be dealt with in the criminal justice system, and what's happening in terms of our incarceration rates and how we're dealing with ex-offenders is obviously at the top of the list on that front. But the one thing that I'm encouraged by is I really do think that people want to unify and get past some of the old arguments. And my approach to this campaign has been to say that all Americans, Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, all of us have an interest in seeing a more just and more equitable society. And the only way we will achieve that is if we are able to unify and get past some of these divisions. And that, I think, is the test of our campaign. I place my bet on the American people that they are ready to move forward. Certainly, I think young people are, because we've been seeing turnout from young people of all races in extraordinary numbers. Us older folk, it may take a little bit longer for us to work through some of these issues. But I'm feeling very optimistic, and so with that, let me stop and let me just open it up for questions.
All right, I want to good if Dr. Franklin is with us. Dr. Franklin, you're home. Thank you. How much we love you.
be so kind as just briefly tell us why you're here and why you're supporting Senator Barack Obama. And you may need to speak up just a little bit because that generator back there is kind of drowning things out. Please tell us why.
Well, I had faith in America once. I lost faith in America as I grew up. And the hope that I have for America today rests to my right side, my right hand. And as I watched him emerge from the Democratic National Convention 4 years ago and move into the United States Senate and to oppose the war in Iraq and to speak out for change we can believe in, I said, I'll follow him wherever he wants me. And so I am delighted to have the opportunity. I'm honored, too, to have the opportunity to be here this morning with all of my friends from Winston-Salem and all of my friends from various parts of North Carolina, and all of my friends who believe, as I do believe now, that we can achieve one of those historic steps in the history of the world in electing Senator Barack Obama to the presidency of the United States. And I am delighted to follow him right to the brink, because this is our hope today, our hope tomorrow, our hope for our children, and goodness knows our hope for our country. This is one of the great moments of my life. I'm honored to be with you.
I can't tell you how honored it is, how honored I am to have John Hope Franklin's support. He is a giant in intellectual circles. He's a giant in our community. He is somebody who has helped to shape and record both the promise and the problems of this country. And I learned from him before I met him, and I continue to learn from him. One of the things I'm trying to learn is what he eats, so I can look that good when I'm 93. And his tip was he doesn't eat too much, so I'm gonna make sure to follow in his footsteps, and hopefully I can be as productive as he has been during the course of his extraordinary life.